today we're out looking for mines, and I'm actually heading towards one that I know where it is. I've been there before, but this is why I recommend having a GPS, a standalone GPS, because you can find things on this, not just for safety reasons because they're tougher than your phone, but you can find stuff on them. There's lots of information in here. So this is a Garmin, choose your kind. Hopefully you can see the screen. The arrow there is me, and the orange is a track I'm following. So you go find all points of interest. So here's the list. There's wells here. This is everything in the area. There's several mines here listed, and I'm actually looking for a mine I found earlier in a search, so it's not coming up in these exact territories here. So if you've already found something and you've lost it, you can always go find recent finds, and that's the mine I'm looking for. So it shows me exactly on the map where it is. Press enter, and there's actually a tracking line that shows me where to go. But as I was following this path to that mine, I found another one up there. So let's take a saunter. It is not on here. That's why you need multiple methods of looking around. And if you know what you're looking for, tailings piles, which is that flat area right there. So that's the foundations I saw from the road. I'm always scanning around looking for little evidence that's not marked on any map. Luckily, this area is rich with little mine holes and stuff like that. Right behind you, over there, is a heavily visited mine. Now, I hear some folks on UTVs exploring over there. I'm hoping they're not seeing me and going to come tumbling over here. So let's go take a look at this. I probably have not been on this particular trail. I've heavily traveled this area, but there's just so many trails and whatnot. So this looks like probably 1920s, 30s, 40s vintage, judging by the foundations. For this would have been the head frame, so the ore would have come out of the mine down here and then unloaded out here and separated. Something just went ugly crunch underneath my feet, which is a little scary. You never know what this tailings are piled up on top of. There's another pile of tailings. I'm assuming that there's a vertical shaft up here somewhere. Well, at least there used to be. It may have been imploded, caved in, and made safe. However, exploring these places, it's nice to get a little bird's eye view of what's going on. We're going to run back down to the bottom of the hill here and move on down the way and see if we can find our first target that we found on the GPS, and we'll stop along the way if we see something interesting. got working here is I'm on a loop trail that I've used a lot. When I used to do rides for a side-by-side club, this is one of the loops I had out here. But along the way, a little bit of exploring on a GPS or even Google Earth, you can find new things. So this isn't like your car GPS or whatever. Basically, it's just showing you trails, marking your tracks, and it's giving me a vector to where this mine is. So as I go along this trail, I need to see what goes off in that direction. The issue is many of these trails, even though you go off to the right, it's not like your city streets. You've got tracks like that one on that hill up there, just kind of meanders around. There's another mine up there that I've been to before, but you just got to keep your eyes going, and it kind of gives you something to do. Not that you need more to do than ride, but if you're riding and you want some other mental stimulus, sometimes this helps. So there's two types of information that comes in a GPS or your phone or whatever. There's tracks, which is like this trail here. It's a path to follow along. There's electronic information that you can add in here that'll take you along and it'll show you a particular path. Then there's waypoints. So let's say someone put a sign right at this intersection and said Vic Pass Mine 5 miles that way. So that's what a waypoint is. It's right here. You can use it as that, or it can be a sign up there at the Vic Pass Mine saying that's the title of this little place, and that's kind of where we're going, right up there. So on our way over to the mine, which I don't know if I'm going to get up there, I got to go back out and come back up again. We'll see what's over this rise. But this little piece here is interesting. I believe what it was is an arrastra, so you would have had some type of vessel and something to spin that tire with, and it would have dragged a heavy object around and crushed the ore up against the side of the vessel. So a big steel, picture like a big steel bowl or something like that. That's what I'm guessing this is, because there was supports in the center, there were supports there, and you don't see too many circular things like that around mines that I've seen before. I'm assuming that may have ran off a belt or something, that tire. So you would have had a motor over here, maybe, and it would have spun that tire and then spun this hammer type object around the inside of that vessel. So you would have filled it up with a little bit of ore, and that ore gets crushed up in there and made smaller, and you throw the tailings away, which you see all the way around here, and you keep the ore and you cart that off. So finding this spot right here I was just sitting in my camp this morning, looking around at my track, looking at the path to the mine that we're going to go to later, and this was just defined within the map. So when you buy one of these GPS units, you want to get maps in there. So this one here is GPS map 64 ST, and T is for topo map. So really, if you're going to go off-road, you want the topo map that shows the trails and all these little interesting points. There's wells in there, there's old towns, there's peak names, there's mine names, things like that. So that if when you purchase this and you purchase it with the maps that are already in there, not only do you find ways to get back to your camp or back to your staging area, but you can find things along the way, points of interest like this. Here's another foundation. I would say that far piece out there that sticks up was a motor, and there was something else over here, but I don't see any mounting points in it. This one here looks like a building. So this was a foundation for a building, maybe miner's cabin. I did look at this on the interwebs, and I did not find anything. So here's another point. When you're going around looking at these mine sites, you'll see sticks like this, and this is I believe this is regulated by the mining claim, whether it's federal or whatever. This was a federal mining claim, so you got a claim up there, claim there, and two claims over there. So they're painted white so morons like me can see it. There's actually a piece of rebar in the ground. At one time, at the top of that was a little box, and the mining claim was in there. It said who the mining claim was, when the mining claim was paid until, and any associated registration numbers. So if you're on a site like this, don't pick up any rocks, don't do any metal detecting. Because somebody owns all that stuff. Now these sites are not private. The claim is owned, so the mineral rights are owned. But the property is not owned. So if there's a safety issue, they can block your access, but generally these things are part of BLM, so this land is federal land, but the mining claims are owned by each miner. I think this place deserves some further exploration on the interwebs, so I get a better idea what's going on here. Now, I don't think there's any active claims out here, otherwise they'd be posted. Well, there's old mining stakes everywhere. If you see this close outcropping right there, there's a stick on top of that. There's a stick on top of that one. So plenty of stuff here. And again, you come up here and there's such a beautiful view. Look at all those cholla, yikes. No matter what kind of vehicle you're driving, when you're in these mine sites, especially where there's still buildings up, and even like this where there's not, you need to be careful where you're riding. nails and glass and tin all get washed away from those areas. It says that mining claim is for sale. I should probably go back there and show you what that looks like. All that stuff, all that debris ends up in a wash, but a lot of the times the path to the wash are these roads. And they could definitely mean a flat tire. So this was what I meant by mining claim. This is what they call a claim stake. So staking your claim, that phrase comes from basically this is a mine stake. This is a claim stake. And this is the mining claim, registered mining claim. It doesn't say if it's federal. Yeah, it is a federal mining claim. There's a number on there. I'll try to blur all that out. Mining claim is protected under state and federal laws. Absolutely no prospecting allowed. This includes panning, sluicing, dredging, metal detecting, or other activities that result in the removal of minerals. Violators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. These people are serious. So this one's for sale, but there's no number. Let me back out of here. So seriously, if you're on one of these, be respectful. Don't pick stuff up. I mean, even if it's not, if you don't see evidence of an active claim, don't even be picking up artifacts and stuff. Leave that for the next guy to see. You may like that old oil can that you find, or shovel, or pickaxe, or whatever, dynamite box, but that stuff's not yours. And like I said, leave the history there for someone else to find. So we're going to quit looking for the place that we just found, and we're going to go to the one that we are looking for. So what you want to do here is all points of interest. I already have this set in my device as a waypoint so I could find it more easily, but this is the way you would find it. So you'll go down, you find Yuma mine, shows you on the map. It's right on our trail there. Enter for go, and it's showing it's going off that way. So one of the fun things about looking for mines is usually these trails to get to them are pretty fun, because those guys really just wanted to get to their mine in the straightest line possible. But again, just you can see the scenery is just awesome. As with any adventure off-road, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're prepared for whatever. Bring water with you, no matter if you're out here in the desert or far reaches of Colorado, make sure you got water on you. Food's a good thing to have. Makes the trip more fun. Stop and get yourself a snack. Make sure you got a good device, a map, and your phone. Doesn't hurt to have backups. If it's your first time out or you're new to it, make sure you got someone with some experience to help you out. Have a general working knowledge of the area. What's to your south, what's to your north. Now there's a prepper's compound back there, so we've got to avoid it and go around the other side of this mountain. But make sure you got good footwear. Don't go out in your yoga pants and shower shoes. Have sturdy boots, sturdy pants. These are the kind of things you get, especially folks in UTVs. It is so easy to think it's like getting in your car and going to the convenience store. But I see so many people unprepared heading out into the desert, and something could happen just like that. I mean, personal locator beacon, whatever brand you choose. I choose to put mine there. There's reasons for it. That's where I'm going to put it. So not right now, and I'm riding in a wash. So another thing to be mindful of in the desert, these washes are many times roadways. Trails will follow along these things at different intersections. People will make their own trails, or someone may be wildcatting down a wash. So like I'm coming up to this wash intersection here, so there's a big tributary that goes that way, and we Y up here to one wash, and you got to be mindful of other traffic. When you're down here, keep an ear out, keep an eye out for other traffic. Another thing to look out for, and I've run into it in this very spot, but across to several areas, is this is a Second Amendment state. So I'm a Second Amendment person. Folks will come out to distant places like this to go shooting. So you got to keep an ear out for people shooting. I've been down this very path, and people have been shooting up into the hills with a 50 cal, doing long distance shooting. So it could be that, it could be a guy and his son with a 22, but always be mindful that there's other people out here doing other things. I have a track that goes right to the mine, and I have a waypoint at the mine, plus there's a actual waypoint in the topo map that indicates the mine. But if I was out here looking for mines, I might be a little bit confused here. So I want to get back, and as far I see a good road and I see hills up there, so I would be at a kind of an impasse here, wondering if I'm going to go that way or take a left, because over there I can see a switchback going up the side of that hill. So for the mine I'm looking for, that's not the correct path. I want to go straight. people might ask, well, why are you showing people how to do this? Aren't you inviting people to come in and wreck stuff? And that is, I'm hoping, not the case. But most people that come in and destroy and wreck stuff really don't want to put the work or effort into it. This takes a little bit of work and effort to figure stuff out. So we know we're getting close to the mine because we got debris piles. So as you're looking along the side of the road, all this weathered wood was once a building. We've got old, I guess that's a beer can. Probably sardines, something like that. Got a little can, probably like Spam or something like that. Pardon my breathing, I don't want to get don't feel like getting my second camera out. You just follow this debris track right up to a foundation. So this was probably a miner's cabin. And this is what I'm talking about. You gotta be careful around these debris piles. There's nails and sharp stuff everywhere. But this building probably shed a little bit of wood up here, but eventually collapsed, and the path of the water took it out that way. And you can see this is probably his junkyard. So you're done with dinner, check it out the window, and down here it goes. Here's something interesting. Always keep your eye out for things that don't look like they belong there. It's an old sack of concrete. The bag got wet, concrete set, then the bag disappeared. So some old miner took that up in here in his Model A, Model T, horse and wagon. I would say probably Model A or Model T. Put it outside his cabin here, getting ready to pour a pad or something, and got wet on them, and there it sits. 100 years later, 70 years later. Another thing you want to do, even if you got a GPS or a map, even if you know where you are, always as you're plodding along and your mind's focused on where you're going, take a look back at where you've been, so when you come out you're familiar with what it looks like and how to get back, because GPSs can fail, maps can get lost. So the mine area is coming into sight, and this is a perfect example of looking into the back of these valleys to find mines. And another thing, when you're seeking out these mines, make sure not only your vehicle is set up to handle the terrain, but you're capable of piloting your vehicle over such terrain. Because you can get yourself in trouble. There's no worries about turning back. You've had fun on a ride, maybe you don't make it there. If you plan on hiking in, make sure you're prepared to hike in. Let's go explore. So we've made our way to Yuma Mine, and I don't mind naming it. It's one of a few in Arizona that are called Yuma Mine, so good luck if you find one. There's some pretty good examples of mines just about everywhere, so find one. But here, I'll show you the lay of the land here. What I'm actually standing on right here is the tailings pile, and I'll show you that. Over in that direction is the that's the head frame over there. Right behind me is the mine entrance, or the portal, and that's some type of tank. I would assume they used it for you know, water storage. They're probably washing the rock or something up here, I don't know. So as the years go by, more and more of this tailings pile washes out, and you can actually see some green rock. That must have been, it looks like it may have been processed slag or whatever. But you can see some chutes down there, some barrels, and all kinds of rusty metal and stuff, and it's all being washed downstream. So as the water comes off the top of the hill, probably flows down here, right off of here, and it's just moving everything out. So that's the head frame that I spoke of. It's, you know, the first processing, the sorting area of the ore. There would have been tracks that led all the way back into the mine portal, and obviously it would have been a freeway of ore carts coming in and out. There would have been like little small rail tracks going in and out of there. At one point in time, there was a couple of pieces of heavy equipment up here and a couple of old 1950s, 1960s trailers. As we walk along here, you can see some foundations. I'm assuming that was that tank's original place. It may have been leaning over. No. Yeah, I think it was, judging by that cradle there, it was probably leaning over, and it was a horizontal tank. I'm almost thinking that it was, it doesn't really look like too much like a water vessel. It was leaning over. Yeah, maybe it is because there's a bung on the side. It almost looks like a trommel, but it's not. I think it's just a water tank. So as you look along the ground here, there is little green rocks. It's indicative of a copper mine. I think right there, I think that might be a little bit of turquoise or nickel. Once again, as much as you might be tempted to pick some stuff up, even something as small as that, I mean, it may not hurt anything, but these are, if this is an active mine claim, which it was the last time I was up here, you really don't want to be picking up any minerals. Some of these guys are pretty serious about that stuff. So right behind me is the mine portal. Let's walk over and take a look. It is not advisable to go in to these mines at all whatsoever, not even just this far. I don't have any lights with me, so we won't go in too far. This was locked and had signage here of someone's mine claim. So someone's got the door open. See, it says no trespassing. I don't have lights, but I really don't want to go in here by myself without lights. But you can see it's a fairly tall tunnel. This was a copper mine. And of course, in these mines, it was copper mainly, mostly, but if they found gold or silver or lead, which they did here, they would have used that, sold that too. I mean, it's all money, right? So that's looking up back out towards the portal. You see the bike over there. Once again, unless you have somebody with you that's experienced with exploring mines, which I am not. I'm very much a novice at it, and I no longer really go in. I may go in, if I've got the right lights and stuff like that, I may go in 100 feet or so, but running around inside those mines, leave that to the professionals, or the more experienced folks. But like this one right here, which makes me kind of concerned, even though you know, there's that right sound in there, and it's hard rock. The water is coming right down this hill, coming actually down there, and you can see this is all bared out rock, so it's washing this stuff right out, so you don't know what's compromised in there. There's lots of pitfalls and things that false floors and stopes and things like that you can run across in there if you're not familiar with with how a mine is structured. So while this is more just a how-to, not really a how-to, but kind of the process of finding mines and abandoned places, this mine here was run between 1944 and 1963. It was found in the 1860s, so I would assume someone found the claim. Maybe it was too far out or something like that, and by the 40s they were looking for copper for the war effort. Maybe it made sense to come up here and extract the copper ore out of here. But it was over by the 60s. It looks like there was some later on mining efforts in there. But once again, when you come up to these places, look at that view. Well, we're going to jump on the bike and head on out of here. Down the hill we go. So this was not intended to be a step-by-step instructional video, just to kind of give you an idea of what the process is. There's plenty of step-by-step videos on how to run a GPS or use a map or that kind of thing. I just wanted to give you some overview of the process so that you can go out and search out the specifics yourself and create your own process. There's the old mine gate. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you get something out of it. Make sure you explore safely. Pitfalls in your area, things that you got to prepare for. You need to do your own research and find your own comfort level. Thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate you watching. Please comment, subscribe, ding that bell so that you get notified when I put up new videos. Like and share. Adios.